トリシア・フィールド様とヒラク君の出会ったそのきっかけっていうのは？
きっかけは、パトリシア・フィールドさんで働いていた、ディレクターの方がいて、その方が、昔古着屋で働いてたんですけど、そこで顔見知りで、ある日なんかその後にしていたバイト先に来てくれて、なんか今人探してるんだけどうちで働いてみないっていうことを
ニューヨークでですか？
はい、ニューヨークで言われて、じゃあちょっと面接じゃあ行きますって言って、面接したら、火曜日に来てみたいなことになってでそこから始めたんですけど、
では初めて会ったのはお店でってことですか？
We first met at the store. はい。But I don't know if you remember, like, of course you don't remember, but long time ago when Sex and the City movie came out, I went to your store and I was wearing leather leggings, and you stopped me and you were like, I like your leggings. That was the first time.
You see, you looked interesting to me, so I went for you. I didn't just go and walk away. I love to see people who are original and who know how to express their originality, whether they're dressing or writing a book or writing a song or whatever, their ability to express the way they feel, the way they think, in some way that they can communicate it. Like you.
今日は裁判記録です。今回来日したきっかけがキース・ヘリングのイベントのことでということなんですが、キース・ヘリングとパトリシア・フィールドの関係を教えてください。
So the reason why you came to Japan this time is because of the collaboration between the event of Keith Haring and Patricia Field. She'd like to know, like, what is the relationship that you had with Keith Haring?
All right. I'm here in Tokyo because of the Keith Haring event, Pat Field Keith Haring. Brought to you by Mr. Nakamura, the Keith Haring Museum, who is a client of mine for quite a while, because we create Keith Haring products that are exclusive in our shop.
Wow.
And my relationship with Keith Haring started in the very early 80s, I would think. Yeah, early 80s. Okay, at that point, my store was a center for a lot of young, creative people who lived downtown, young clothing designers, painters, all kinds of creative people of different entertainers. And it was a mecca. It was a center that drew people. They were always, they say that my store was like a clubhouse or a store that's a club. And of course, as I said, I found this all very interesting and very entertaining. So it was very inspiring. And I responded to it by helping to support it in any way I could and make it happen for these different people. Well, okay, Keith, actually, I mean, he was becoming big in his own right. It wasn't that I made his career. But a very interesting thing is this. In the early 80s, a lot of Japanese kids were coming to New York to go to school, college, New York University, Cooper Union, many colleges downtown and where we are. It's a very young area. And the Japanese kids were very instrumental in the imagery and the reputation of my store, because they always got the pop idea. They responded to it. So the Japanese young kids became my customers. They would come in and they would see a Keith Haring t-shirt and they would, understand it. Or anything. I'm using the Keith Haring example now, but they loved the way I did the color, like your dress, or they got it. And they were very important in helping me to promote my image, because they would wear it and look really good. And then some American girl who didn't know who Hello Kitty was, for example, were like, oh, that's kawaii. So, you know, the Japanese Harajuku idea became very, very strong in my store, but with the help of the Japanese kids. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah. You know, the American kids knew about Japanese anime. But it was confined to the comic book or the TV anime. And what I think we crossed the bridge between the anime and the pop culture, clothing, Keith Haring art, you know, it all came together.
なるほど。アニメとか、そのアートとか、そういうものがの架け橋になったのがうちのお店。だからそうですね、そのアニメのカルチャーだとか、そのファッションカルチャーだとか、ポップカルチャーっていうものをつなげたっていうのがうちのお店だっていう。You know that Save for Africa painting that Keith did? That was for your store.
Yes,
which
it was.
I didn't know.
Yes. Well, he had an exhibit. I'm trying to remember what happened, what came first. He had an exhibit, and it was before South Africa, you know, changed their laws, because it was all during the 60s and 70s. There was a lot of problems with South Africa because they kept the blacks separate from the whites.
Right.
And so I think at the end of the 70s, you know, they resolved that problem, or at the early 80s. I can't remember exactly the date. So Keith, who was, you know, as I said, I had mentioned before, it was like, he was an artist, he was a cartoonist, but he had a message. And many times his messages, and most often his messages, you could get his messages through his paintings. And this was one of his paintings, Free South Africa. We had some T-shirts of his before from another exhibit. And then when he made the Free South Africa painting, he said, I want to make T-shirts for you with the Free South Africa. So he did. And he said, I want to come and paint a window for you, your store window, Free South Africa, just like the painting.
I see.
So he painted my window, and we brought in the Free South Africa T-shirts. And that's how it happened.
I see.
And then a month later, when the exhibition at the art gallery was finished, I called the glass man to cut the window out to send him the window because it was his painting.
Right.
And he said, you don't have a big piece of mine, keep it. I mean, he was very generous that way. He was the sweetest guy.
Right.
And so that's what happened. He made a gift of me of his painting on the glass.
I see. なんかその当時、南アフリカで、アパルトヘイトとかそういうことが起こっていて、その時になんかレボリューションっていうか革命が起こっていた時に、キースが南アフリカのために T シャツを作りたいって、でそれをなんかパトリシャフィールドで売ってくれないかっていう、ことになって、じゃあ売るよって言って、その時にじゃあそのためのウィンドウに、ペインティング、なんか絵を描くからって、でそれでそのウィンドウにその絵を描いてもらったんですね。でそれをなんかそれが終わった時にじゃあ切ってそれを返すからって言って、返そうとしたんだけど、 あ、いいよいいよ、なんかこれはあなたのためだからなんか取っといてくださいっていうふうに、なんかして取っといてくださいっていうふうに言ってくれてプレゼントしてくれたんですね。でそれでプレゼントしてくれたんですけども、それが誰かが盗んじゃって、なくなっちゃったっていう。
残したやつをですか。
はい。
嫌だ、そうなんだ。
No, Rosie, my assistant, who sends out social media, said take pictures from when you're in Tokyo, so you can send me pictures, and I can put them on our social media. So while HIRAKU was talking, I thought this is a good. I have to take a picture of your ear.
イヤリングが気になってるそうなんです。
The buzz.
Buzz? Oh, buzz is I made it.
You what?
Yeah, I made it.
You made them?
Yeah. So today I have it. So you for present for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, but
please use.
But you're too busy to make them for my shop.
Yeah.
ショップで売ってくれないの？
いいよ、オッケーオッケー、送ります。やった。送りたい。いいの？ある。作った。I made オリジナルイヤーカフとイヤリング。
かわいい。
そう、OTD ペン。
Ah.
セルフィー。Everyone girls セルフィーするから。
What do you mean?
Oh yeah. Oh, she's smart. Because everyone takes their selfie.
Selfie, yeah.
So
OTD.
it's hashtagged
already.
already.
Outfit of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Yes, smart.
And ear cuff, buzz and
Ear cuff. Yeah.
Ear cuff.
Cute. I like that.
Please.
I don't have a hole, but I'm gonna get a hole to
や
wear
っ
yours.
た。使ってもらえる。Please.
Thank you. How sweet of you.
やったやったやった。プレゼントします。ありがとうございます。やったー。やったー。
どうもありが
やっ
とう。
たー。嬉しい。
Ooh. Okay, cool.
いや、
Love it.
袋もあるよ。やったー。
Bye.